Hi, y'all, and welcome to India Brady Art, and Happy New Year to everybody. So, I have this mold, yeah, I'm like a bull in a china shop there, and I'm going to use different colors. I'm kind of running an experiment because I'm going to use a dark color and then a lighter color. Um, so, what I'm going to be using, I've got my resin mixed up. And I'm going to be using Arteza's Amethyst Purple. Yeah, I'm using JDiction resin, and you have to wait a little bit for the bubbles to come up to the top. So I was just popping those bubbles. And then I've got Violet Rose glitter by Arteza, and I'm going to be putting some of that in there. I didn't want to have it just totally looking like glitter. I wanted the glitter to kind of put a little bit of highlights into the roses in the bouquet. So if y'all are new to resin and mica, make sure that you mix your mica really, really well, or it's going to clump. It's going to rise to the top and clump. So I'm pouring from up high and pouring really slow. I do have y'all fast forwarded a little bit because, you know, this is kind of boring. So, but the reason why I'm pouring from up high and really slow is that this mold has so many nooks and crannies in it that if you go at a slower pace, then you're less likely to have a lot of air bubbles, as opposed to if you were just to pour it in there, you'll have bubbles, but you might have bubbles that are trapped underneath. So when you demold it, you're going to have air pockets. So I've got this resin left over, and I've got my handy dandy little butterfly keychain mold here. Now, if you'll notice the antenna, I didn't pour up there or anything. I'm just going to let that resin settle. And as you can see, it just flowed right on into those crevices there. Now, for those of you that have been with me for a while, you know that these car coasters have a mandala pattern etched inside of them. So when you pop them out, you're going to have a pattern on top of your coaster. And I have videos of painting and wiping off the paint and top coating and everything. So if y'all want to take a look at that, um, you'll know what I'm talking about. So I'm taking my micro brush and it's kind of cleaning up the edges. So I've got my resin sitting there so it can degas. Y'all can't see in that butterfly, but it does have some etching on it also. And that purple does have a blue hue to it, as you can tell when I'm kind of rolling it around there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour a thin layer of resin inside the mold. These are actually cupcake molds, but obviously I'm not going to be using those for cupcakes. More bubbles. Try and get out the bubbles. My big old fat head. I'm so sorry, y'all. You're having to look at my big old head there. So I'm pushing it down, just making sure it has a little bit of a seal there, and um, just to make sure that it won't float back to the top. And you can't tell it right here, but I'm doing the same, going from up high and mixing, or not mixing, pouring really, really slow so I can avoid some of the air bubbles. So I'm just going to go along and pop those with my heat gun. Still got some stubborn bubbles. Now I'm spraying it, trying to get rid of those bubbles. So I've got some resin mixed over, and now it's time for the lighter colored rose bouquet heart. A heart rose bouquet. There you go. So now I'm looking for a lighter color to use. And what I came up with is Arteza's Bubble Bath Pink, which is such a beautiful color. Y'all will see when I start mixing that it looks pearl, like pearl. Is it pearlescent? Anyway, it's a nice pearly color. Yeah, I wish I could mix that fast. There we go. Okay. And I'm using the same method over again. Just pouring really slow, making sure that that resin is going to settle into all of those little spaces. And what I do with my 3D molds is I pick them up and drop them just to make sure that that force will force the bubbles up to the top. Yeah, I couldn't make up my mind which mold I wanted. But yeah, I'm just using that leftover resin. That's actually a foam grip mold, which I have made in the past. If y'all go and look through my videos, you'll see where um, I made some of those. Yeah, don't throw your resin away. If y'all are new to resin, don't throw your resin away. Always have some type of mold nearby so you can pour your leftover resin into your mold. Um, yeah, and don't throw it away. It's too expensive. Plus, you'll have an additional project. Okay, so everything's cured. It kind of looks more of a light peach than a pink. And there's what it looks like. Yeah, the sides are dull, um, but they're a matte finish, and I don't like them. So I took that Duraclear gloss varnish and painted the sides of them. So I'm just doing the same process as I did with the purple heart. Pressing it down, making sure that it's pretty well sunk down in there. Because the last thing you want is to pour your resin in there and then have you're gonna have your heart float to the top and have those flowers sticking out of the top of it. So I'm popping the bubbles. Okay, so I've gone to look for just some glitter because I want to find out what that mold or what the just the glitter and the resin would look like in the mold. Because the only thing I put in the mold is like resin and pigment paste or resin and mica powder. So I've just never used glitter and resin inside of it. So going up from really high. And that's that one. It's like, yay. Oh, here's where I have a whoops. Yeah, when I started to pick that heart up that has the purple flowers in it, it tilted and resin fell over the side. So I just thought, no, I'm not going to try and wipe it up or anything. I'm just going to leave that part that's on the mat, leave it on the mat. Because what's on the mat is going to cure and I can just peel it right off. And yeah, I think some had gotten on to the top of the purple flower, so tried to wipe that off. Still trying to get those bubbles. Okay, it's time to demold. I did take that Duraclear gloss varnish. That's a long name. And I did paint the sides of that purple heart, and it came out really well. It's nice and shiny. And in my opinion, the lighter color looks better because it just looks like it gives it a lot more definition. So anyway, I've got some pictures coming up. Y'all have a great day and have a great year. Thank you for being here. And until the next video, I dare you to create. Bye for now.